Hello students, hope you all are doing well. I am here again with another section. Today we will be starting our English language book. The name of the book is Heads Up, Lower Secondary Student Book. Alright, so we'll be starting with the first chapter, that is Friends Forever, and I really wish and hope that I really think that you guys would have a best friend in your life, and like having a best friend and good friends in your life is nothing less than a blessing. It's an amazing thing to have someone other than your family to care for you and be there for you in your difficult times. So let's see what this chapter is about. What the chapter is about. It's about like how what does it tell you about a friend. So let's start this chapter. All right. So on page number 15, come to page number 15. Vocabulary one, describing a good friend. So here there is a write-up of regarding Anita, Carl, Ansem, Karen, and Tarawan. They are telling about their best friend. Just go through this whole write-up, and then we can then you have to answer the following questions. You have to do question number three. Not question number three, sorry, question number four. Discuss the question. Who is your best friend? How long have you been friends? What do you like about your best friend? What makes a good friend? Do you think you are a good friend? Why? You need to answer these questions in your notebook, in English language notebook. Okay, now students, please come to page number 16. There is this reading team problem. There is a write-up regarding team to team. It's like it has four paragraphs. One is A, B, C, and D. It's not easy to be a teenager. This website lets teenagers get advice from one another. So there is this website on which you can get advice from other teenagers or some other people of your age group. So just go through this write-up about the website, like the issues which teenagers face, and how do the other people let them know that how can they solve them. Just go through it, and then what you can do, you need to do question number 2 on page number 17, and question number 2 on page number 17, question number 4, and question number 5. You need to do all these in your you can do question number 2 in your book, but you have to do question number 4 and question number 5 in your English language notebook. Question number 2 is read the website quickly, choose the correct answer. You have to choose the correct answers. And the question number 4 is a few teenagers responded to the website with advice. Match the advice 1 to 4 to the paragraph A to D in the website. Okay, so few teenagers have replied with the advice, so you need to match the advice with the problem in the write-up A B C D with 1 2 3 4. Now, question number 5 is discuss the questions. Which problem is most difficult and why? Do you think the four teenagers gave good advice? What other advice can you think of for each of them? Who do you ask for advice when you have a problem? So you need to do all these in your notebook.
Okay, get your notebooks ready. In this lesson, we're focusing on the present perfect tense. What it looks like, how to use it, and when to use it. Hello, I'm Emma from English. If you don't feel confident using the present perfect tense in English yet, there's probably a few reasons why. There's those nasty irregular verbs in past participle form. Or maybe you feel unsure about when to use the present perfect and when to use the past simple tenses. Even if you're quite good at using the present perfect tense in English, it's definitely worth reviewing this tense to jog your memory. That expression means to remind yourself. So are you ready to start? Grab a notepad and a pen and let's go over this beautiful tense right now so that you can feel more confident using it. Oh, and if you can think of a friend who needs to review this tense too, make sure you share this lesson with them. Click the share button just underneath this video. They'll thank you for it. First thing, the grammatical structure. What does it look like? Well, it looks like this. Subject, have or has, and your main verb in past participle form. So the subject, you already know this. You can use a proper noun or a pronoun. I, she, they. In the perfect tenses, the verb have is an auxiliary verb. It's a helping verb. It's not the main verb in the sentence. And that means that it's usually unstressed and often contracted when spoken. So she has becomes she's. I have becomes I've. But I'll talk more about that soon. But then comes the main verb. In the present perfect tense, the main verb is in past participle form, not in past simple form. Now, this is no problem for regular past tense verbs. For regular verbs, the past participle form is the same as the simple past. So you just need to add ed. Watch in the present tense becomes watched in past simple, and it's also watched in past participle form. Laugh becomes laughed and is also laughed. Dance, danced, danced. Call, called, called. And even some irregular verbs use the same verb for past simple as the past participle form. Have in the present tense becomes had in the simple past, and it's also had as a past participle. Easy, right? Win, won, won. But these really irregular verbs are the ones that cause all of the headaches, because there are 3 different forms that you need to remember. Go in the present tense becomes went in the past simple, and in the past participle form, it's been or gone. Some more examples. Fly, flew, flown. Throw, threw, thrown. Do, did, done. Become, became, become. Speak, spoke, spoken. I'm sure you can think of many more examples, but with these verbs, there's no pattern, there's no rule to follow. You just need to memorize the past participle form. But keep an eye out for my next video next week, which will help you to practice and memorize these past participle forms of irregular verbs. In fact, if you subscribe to this channel, click the red button here, then you'll find out as soon as it's ready. But to use the present perfect tense well, you may need to polish up on some useful irregular English verbs and remind yourself about their past participle form. But let's get back to the structure. You have the subject, you have or has, and our past participle verb. I have asked my parents to loan me some money. You have been really helpful today. They have flown to the capital to meet with the officials. He has saved enough money to buy a car. She has forgotten where her hotel is. Now, in this structure, often have and has are contracted to v and s. I've asked, you've been, they've flown, he's saved, she's forgotten. Got it? Good. So when should you use the present perfect tense? Well, when there is a connection between the present and the past. Think of it like a bridge that's connecting the present and the past. For example, when something started in the past and continues in the present. They've been married for 3 years. You can use it to talk about an activity that you've done several times in the past and that you continue to do now. She has read many books and she'll probably read more. You can also use the present perfect to talk about life experience. He hasn't travelled overseas before. Now, before I give you some more examples, let's talk about when to use the past simple tense and the present perfect tense, because this is often the confusing part about this tense. To answer this question, you need to think about time. Finished time and unfinished time. So think about last week. That's a good example of finished time. Last week is finished, it's over. But what about this week? Is this week finished? No, not yet. That's an example of unfinished time. There's still more of this week to come. It's not finished yet. Yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 1991, these are all examples of finished time, time that is complete. When you're talking about a time period that has finished, like these, you need to use the past simple. But when you're talking about a time period that is unfinished, like today, this week, this year, this month, use the present perfect tense. So let's compare some examples. Last month, I visited my brother 3 times. This month, I have visited my brother twice. But the month isn't finished yet and I may visit him again. Try an example with me. He borrowed my car yesterday. So this sentence is in the past simple. It's finished time. Now try to change it to the present perfect yourself. What do you need to do? 2 things. You need to add the auxiliary verb. He has, not have. It changes because our subject is he. He has borrowed my car today or this week. We need to change the time expression too for our sentence to work in the present perfect tense. It must be unfinished time. Okay, so those were all examples of the present perfect in positive sentences. But what about negative forms? Of course, we need to add not to our sentence, to our structure. Subject plus have or has plus not, and then our past participle verb. So compare these sentences. Last month, I visited my brother 3 times. This month, I haven't visited him at all. But the month isn't over yet. I may still visit him. Again, see that this structure is usually contracted in spoken English. Haven't. This is the most common way to contract the negative form, but you may also hear people say, I've not visited him. Both ways are acceptable, but you can't contract all 3 words together. I'ven't. You can't do that. It's one contraction or the other. Another example. He ate so much yesterday. Notice the time word that we're using. So in present perfect, negative, we can say he hasn't eaten a lot today. But there's still more day, so he could eat more food. One more example. They were at school yesterday. In the present perfect, they haven't been at school all morning. But the day's not finished yet and they may arrive in the afternoon. Of course, you need to ask present perfect questions too, right? As with all English question forms, our auxiliary verb needs to change position. So we have and has, our subject and our past participle verb. Has he cleaned the bathroom? Have you eaten enough? Has it rained today? Have they finished yet? Now compare these two questions. Did you go to Thailand last year? This is a past simple question, so the auxiliary verb do takes the tense. It becomes did. But now compare it to have you been to Thailand? This means at any time in the past. It's your life experience. But of course, you're still alive, so you may go in the future. The difference is the time reference. There is a lot to think about when using the present perfect tense, right? But I hope that this lesson made everything a little easier, especially the basics. If you're clear on the basics, it's a good thing. Make sure that you're subscribed to the English channel because the next few lessons that I make will help you to practice using the present perfect tense. You don't want to miss them. Just click that red subscribe button just there. You can watch more English lessons right here, or you can improve your pronunciation and your English speaking skills by practicing with the imitation technique right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.
Okay, students, after watching the video on the previous slide, I think you must have got an idea regarding what we will be studying and what we will be doing. You must have gotten an idea about present perfect tense. So come to page number 18, we will discuss and do a bit of it. Okay, what is the present perfect tense? Do you have any idea? Okay, the present perfect tense is used to describe something that happened in the past, but the exact time it happened is not important. It has a relationship with the present. I have done my work. I finished my homework in the past. It is not important at exact time. What exact time? Only that it is now done. Something which you have started in the past and now you have completed it. That is present perfect tense. One example is also I have jumped. Have is the present tense and jumped is the past participle. So come to page number 18. There is affirmative and negative sentences. I, you, we, they. We have to use have and haven't with I, you, we, they. And he, she, it. We can use has and hasn't. Plus past participle. Then if it's a question, then we use have plus I, you, we, they plus past participle. Has plus he, she, it plus past participle. Short answers. Affirmative. Yes. I, you, we, they have. No. I, you, we, they haven't. Yes. He, she, it has. If it's a negative, then no. He, she, it hasn't. We use the present perfect with for and since to talk about something that began in the past and has lasted up to the present time, like this something which I have mentioned before. We haven't won a match for ages. The action began in the past and continues up to the present time. I have known Kathy since we were 2 years old. So what do we do? What do we use in this present perfect? We use for and since. We also use the present perfect with these time adverbials. So far, to talk about something that has or hasn't happened from the start and carries on until now. I haven't told him so far. I am working on a project. I have finished writing 6 pages so far. Lately. So to talk about repeated action that happened in the near past or something that has not happened for some time. I've been I have seen Ali a lot lately. A repeated action in the near past. I haven't seen my cousins lately. All my life, or all her life, all their life, etc. To talk about nothing that have always been true and still are now. My parents have been strict with me all my life. So I think you might have an idea what we'll be doing. What is past, present perfect tense. To come to page number question, to come to question number one, complete the sentence with the present perfect from form of the verbs in the brackets, then choose the correct time adverbial. So you need to do this question. Sorry, I not phone you lately. So far, I dash be really busy. So you need to do these by yourself. And Sarah has moved to a new country. Read her blog, complete it with for since or a suitable time adverbial. So you need to do question number one, question number two. You can do these in your books. In your like you can do these in your books. Or like just do these two questions in your books, and we'll be discussing all the answers in your next class. Okay, for your convenience, I will do the first and second one for you. Question number one. Sorry, I dash not phone you lately. Dash so far. I dash be really busy. So, what do you think? What will be the answer? Sorry, I. You have to do. You have to use past participle. Sorry, I have not. You have read in the tables given above. I with I we use haven't and plus past participle. Phone will be phoned. I haven't phoned, so it will be phoned you lately or so far. What do you think? What will be the answer? Lately or so far? We'll be using lately. I haven't phoned lately. I dash be really busy. I have been because it's again I we use has been. I have been really busy. Be is in brackets, so we have to use a past tense of be. I have been really busy. This will be the answer. Sorry, I haven't phoned you lately. I have been really busy. Number two, we dash brackets in the brackets we have we football fans all our lives so far. What do you think? What will come with we? We have we you can see in the box we use have with we. We have been be the past form of we is been. We have been football fans all our life. So you have been a football fan throughout your life. You need to do this accordingly. Now do you understand? Okay, so in this, come to page number 19, vocabulary to friendships. Read about Abby's best friend, then complete the sentences with the words and phrases in bold. So, my older brother, you need to read it and you just go through the words in bold. Then you have to fill in the blanks given below. Like, you two haven't spoken, let me do the first one for you. You two haven't spoken to each other for ages. So, it is good to dash with him and to find out about his life. Like in this line they have told us about like two people they haven't spoken to each other for ages, so it is good that they can keep in touch with him. It's good to keep in touch with him and to find out about his life. If she says she's going to do something, she will definitely do it. You can dash her. Okay, so if she says she's going to do something, she will definitely do it. You can now see above see the above paragraph. You can see the letters in bold, the phrases in bold. The perfect one which can come in this fit in this blank will be depend on. If she says she's going to do something, she will definitely do it. You can depend on her. All right. Now come to question number three. You need to complete the questions with the phrases in the box. Now you need to add the phrases from the box in the given blank. You need to do both of these exercises in your book.
Understanding Intangible Abstract Nouns at Grammar Songs by Melissa. You have learned that a basic noun can be a person, place, or thing. You've also learned that a basic noun is something you can see, hear, smell, touch, or taste, but maybe not all at once. These nouns are physical or tangible because you can detect them by using your 5 senses. Here are some examples of some physical or tangible nouns. Some people also call these nouns concrete, but not all nouns are concrete. Some nouns are intangible or non-physical. You can't see, hear, smell, touch, or taste them. They are abstract. I can't show you what they look like, but I can give you some real-world examples. Events are examples of abstract or intangible nouns. Imagine you go to a friend's house. Of course, there are basic concrete nouns everywhere. You see decorations and balloons, a table with presents. You see, smell, and can taste a cake, punch, and other foods. You hear music and can feel the vibrations. You see other friends dancing and having fun. What event is this? Of course, it's a party. You can't see, hear, smell, touch, or taste a party, but you can detect all of the concrete physical nouns that make up an event. As you know, a place is a basic concrete noun. An event is an intangible or abstract noun. Events usually happen at places. For example, a wedding is an event that can happen at a place like a church. A picnic is an event that can happen at a place like a park. And a parade is an event that can happen at a place like a city. Events are made up of people, places, or things you can experience with your 5 senses, but the event itself is an abstract noun. Emotions can also be examples of abstract nouns. Love, anger, joy, fear, and sadness are all nouns, but you can't see, hear, smell, touch, or taste them. Ideas are also examples of abstract nouns. You can't see, hear, smell, touch, or taste friendship itself, but you can enjoy spending time with your friends who are people or concrete nouns just like you are. You can't see, hear, smell, touch, or taste freedom, but certain people or objects stand as symbols to express this abstract concept. So now that we've explored some abstract nouns such as events, emotions, and ideas, let's see if we can find some nouns in some sentences. We will look for nouns that are either concrete or abstract. Remember, concrete nouns are physical, they can be people, places, or things, and you can see, hear, smell, touch, or taste them. Abstract nouns are intangible or non-physical. They can be events, feelings, ideas, or concepts. Here we go. The boy had permission to go to the park. First, let's look for concrete nouns. Concrete nouns form the picture in my head when I read. The boy had permission to go to the park. I get a picture of a boy and a park. A boy is a person and a park is a place. The boy went to the park. People and places are basic concrete nouns. We can circle boy and park since they are nouns. But are there any other nouns in this sentence? Let's look at the remaining words in this sentence. Remember, abstract nouns are intangible or non-physical. They don't make pictures in my head because I can't see, hear, smell, touch, or taste them. So how can I recognize abstract nouns? Remember, abstract nouns can be events like a parade, emotions like fear and love, or ideas or concepts like friendship. Let's check for abstract nouns. Is the an event, emotion, or concept? No. Is had an event, emotion, or concept? No. Is permission an event, emotion, or concept? Permission is an idea or concept. It's a thing needed to be permitted to engage in an activity or pursue an ambition, like going to the park. And a thing is a noun, so we should circle permission. Let's keep going. Is to an idea, event, or emotion? No. Is go an event, emotion, or idea? No. Is to an event, emotion, or idea? No. Is the an event, emotion, or idea? No. Hooray! We've circled all the nouns. Great detective work. Let's explore another sentence. The cookie brought joy to the toddler. First, let's look for the concrete nouns. Concrete nouns form a picture in my head when I read. The cookie brought joy to the toddler. I get a picture of a cookie and a toddler. A cookie is a thing, and a toddler is a young person. The cookie brought joy to the toddler. Things and people are basic concrete nouns, so we can circle cookie and toddler since they're nouns. But are there any other nouns in this sentence? Remember, abstract nouns are intangible or non-physical. Abstract nouns can be events, like a wedding, emotions like shyness or anger, or concepts like confusion or wisdom. Let's check for abstract nouns. Is the an event, emotion, or concept? No. Is brought an event, emotion, or concept? No. Is joy an event, emotion, or concept? Joy is an emotion. An emotion is a feeling or thing, and things are nouns. We should circle joy since joy is a noun. Let's see, is to an event, emotion, or concept? No. Is the an event, emotion, or concept? No. Hooray! We've circled all the nouns. Great detective work. You get an A+ on abstract nouns. Thank you for joining me at Grammar Songs by Melissa.
Alright, after watching the video regarding abstract nouns, you must have got an idea what abstract nouns is. Abstract nouns are. Okay. Now come to page number 20. Let me tell you what. Let's discuss what are abstract nouns. Abstract nouns describe ideas rather than things we can see, hear, or touch. Many abstract nouns are made with the suffixes ship, hood, meant, ity, ness. These are the 5 suffixes from which abstract nouns are made. You come to the boxes given. Let's read the boxes given. Noun, suffix, abstract noun. Friend plus ship equals friendship. Child plus hood equals childhood. Verb. Enjoy plus meant is enjoyment. Adjective. Popular, ity, popularity. Happy and ness, happiness. Tip box. Say some words need spelling changes like happy. In happy there is a y in the end. In happiness you can have to remove y and add I and then NESS. Make abstract nouns with the suffixes in the box. Use the dictionary to help you. Okay, now we have to make abstract nouns with the help of the box. Now let me help you with a few of them. Number first is active. And the words given in the box is hood, ship, meant, ity, ness, ittiness, and okay. Now the number first is active. What do you think? What can come with this? What suffix? Active. We need to remove e from active, and then we have to add ity. So it will be activity. It will become activity. Uh, After this, adult. What do you think? What can be added after adult? Can you add ship? Adultship, no. Adultman, no. Adultity, no. Adultness, no. So it can be adulthood. It will be adulthood. Number 3 is argue. So you know what is an argue, and we can add. It can be made after adding suffix. It will be argument. Like this, you have to do all these 10. Complete the sentences with the abstract nouns in exercise 1. So after making these abstract nouns, after adding suffixes in the end and making them as abstract nouns, we need to use them in question number 2. I have a difficult dash with my brother. We don't get on well. So after this, can you see which abstract noun from question number 1 is best for this? I have a difficult relationship with my brother. We don't get on well. I always spend time with friends because I hate the feeling of loneliness. I hate the feeling of loneliness. Yes. All right. After doing question number 2, now do question number 3. You have to select the with suitable word. Just go through the passage and whatever word is suitable, just tick that. I really enjoy enjoyment hanging out with my best friend, friendship, Kate. So it will be I really enjoy hanging out with my best friend Kate. This will be the correct one. Like this, you have to complete all these questions in your book. All right. Come to page number 23. You need to do question number 4. Write an essay on this topic. What makes a good friend? Make notes. Write down 3 opinions. Use a few explanation examples to support these opinions. Think of a suitable introduction. Write the essay using your notes. So you need to write an essay on what makes a good friend. Please do this in your English language notebook, and you need to submit this copy to me for checking.